in terms of entrepreneurship, I mean, there are countries that are more known for that, for giving the tools and to having this entrepreneurial spirit. Like, for example, United States and the Silicon Valley, like very known for that. Or even though I think in United States they talk a lot that people, when someone says, "I want to open a business" or "I want to start something," people say, "Go for it." And in Germany, it's a very different mentality, right?
Oh yeah, like I mean, growing up with German, my dad was always very supportive, and he actually also said once, like, I do regret that I didn't, start my own thing in Hong Kong. So, but like knowing relatives, like they all knew what I do, right? But it's always like nobody was exactly like encouraging or asking questions, and I always got nobody never ever told me, but like it did always feel a little bit like, oh, that's cool what you do, nice job, like a little bit like condescending and like, oh, at some point you'll get a real job kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
So I do, but that's my relatives, like from the countryside, from the Black Forest. So, but I do feel like it is given less status, I would say, as like in society, as like, let's say in the United States.
Yeah. Here is a lot of like, oh, it works at Daimler, it works at Henkel or stuff like that. Like.
Exactly. But having said that, though, like, I mean, I built like my business here in Berlin, and there are, of course, like bureaucratic stuff where you're just like, oh, like going to the notary all the time for an address change, like going to the notary, or having all these, like, there are thousands of how do you call them, like support, subsidies, but like applying for them, you need a consultant in itself because it's so complicated.
Oh, okay.
And all the proof you have to bring. Like, I get why they want it, right? But like it's a lot like we had a subsidy where we got like, subsidy for the salary of an employee of ours. And it's just the amount of time that we spent, the amount of paperwork that we had to do, and this amount of paperwork that we knew they were doing. Like, it was a total of 20,000 euros, I think. Like, no, sorry, 10,000 euros. Like, I could imagine that, like, if you calculate all the salaries all the time that was spent on working on that thing, like, I'm not sure if the government, got their return on investment back, or if it all was eaten up by the administration.
Yeah, 100%.
Having said that, though, like, I do think that in Germany, it's still a great place to start up, right? Like, for all its faults with the bureaucracy and stuff, it's still like, there are subsidies out there for like young founders who don't come from a rich background, that can, like, they're called Exist-Stipendium, Berliner Gründerstipendium. There are private incubators out there that, just give you money because you have an idea, so you can pay rent and dinner. Like, there are a lot of institutions and places that help you start up, even if you don't have the means, like from your family or your savings. So I would still say, like, I'm very thankful for like the place where I am and that I built my business here, because there are still a lot of pros to and of course, like, it's still, for all the things that we read about the German economy, like stagnating and stuff, it's still the third largest economy in the world. I mean, and the EU being, okay, the whole of EU being also the third, but like, it's still one of the largest economic zones in the world. So there's definitely still, business to be made here.